Hello, Cheshire here. Today we're going to play Dimir Tempo. I haven't touched this deck in a while, and this deck actually got two top eights in the most recent The Gathering tournament, but sadly I did go 0-2 drop for that event. So this is technically Grex's, but it's just adding Steam Vents for Fire Magic. And the changes and testing we are going to do for this iteration is just cutting a flare of denial and subtlety for a couple of spell peers. There's also the matter of adjusting the land count here. We were running 20 lands with Mystic Sanctuary, so I decided to up the untapped blue source to up to 18, and we decided to up the strip mine count just to maximize the chances of drawing into it. But you could argue that the Fort Strip Mine is better off as a Mystic Sanctuary. It could be a preference of playstyle. But for now, we're just going to max out on Strip Mines. We have also cut Frog just to accommodate more lands. And in this case, I added a Sink into Stupor. This solves two problems in this deck. One, this adds more untapped blue sources, and it also gives us an out to a big fatty or a permanent that we can't really deal with using Fatal Push, Subtlety, or any of the other spells. And you could argue that we should be looking into touching the cantrips here, but honestly, after casting Ponder, this card just is really nuts. It sometimes reads like add an additional 2 to 3 cards into your hand. The information that you get when you see the top 3 cards of your library is just really powerful. The card ceiling is just absurd, and its floor is, of course, just finding you or getting you closer into a card that you really need. And for that reason, I don't think there's reason to run less than 4 brainstorms and 4 ponders. We just want that flexibility and consistency. And post board, it's a bit different. We have a few redundant pieces here. So let's say you're faced up against a creature deck. You want to take out your spell pierce. You want Bloodchief's Thirst, but you also have Stern Scolding. Now you can choose to cut either Brainstorm or trim down on Brainstorm or Ponders, depending on the matchup. Personally, I like limiting myself into cutting only 2 cantrips. So for Orcish Bowmaster decks, I like trimming 2 brainstorms to bring in redundant pieces. And for Orcish Bowmaster matchups, I like cutting 2 ponders. I also think 11 threats are enough, especially when you're running 8 cantrips. The Psychic Frog gets hit because it's the most expensive one. I think it's important to have the cheapest snowbally creatures that you have available to you. This deck can also recklessly pitch a bunch of cards. You can aggressively pitch Subtlety. You can aggressively sacrifice your Ragavans to Flare. And all because you run 8 cantrips. Because eventually, if you run out of gas, you can just draw into a Ponder or Brainstorm. Try to find your Treasure Cruise and just go from there. And as for the sideboard, again, we have Bloodchief's Thirst for creature matchups, Disruptor Flute for combo matchups. This is sometimes brought in against green black to name either the Right Shaman, the One Ring, or even Strip Mine. Commandeer here is anti combo. So there's a lot of Dark Ritual Necro decks running around. Stern Scolding. This is for the energy matchups, the creature matchups. Can also bring this in against green black if they are on a Dotty Voidwalker build or they have an opposition agent. Thoughtseize is for the combo matchup. And finally, Fire Magic here. There are several go wide decks in the format. So mostly it's just energy. But this is also good into Orcish Bowmaster matchups because you can cleanly kill a Bowmasters with one Fire Magic. So yeah, let's try playing some games. Okay, opponent doesn't have companions. I think this hand is keepable. We have cantrips to find our threats. That's a Chrome Mox. Okay, you get Brainstorm. Guess I'm just casting Ponder then. I think I actually shuffle this. I just want some action that draws me into another land. I wonder what they are playing. There's a Deathright Shaman. I'm just gonna cast Psychic Frog here. Draw the Fatal Push. Okay, let's just play out the frog. Trip mine that land. If they try to exile a land from my graveyard, I can use frog. Playing a black. I feel like this is mono black. There's a bunch of thought seeds. Pretty sure they have one ring too. I might just add in thirst here. Maybe trim down on brainstorms. Okay, let's keep. We are just gonna cast Damio here.
Curious. I must investigate this scroll further.
We have the push. This kind of feels like a bowmaster's turn. I guess we can ponder. Don't think I can keep those, even though triple strip mine is tempting. Okay, didn't have you play here. There's a Chrome Mox. I think I just flare whatever they're going to put out. Hey, I'm not under any pressure, so I can't afford to do this. I can strip mine a land here. Looks like they're hurting for one. And it's likely that they're holding up a Bowmasters here. So I'm just gonna keep taking that one and hold up Flare of Denial. Now we can Flare of Denial and play Bowmasters. Let's just pass. Maybe I should just play this so that I can double flare. There's another Bowmasters, but I think I can let this go because we have Bowmasters to deal with Bowmasters. Okay, that is concerning. Maybe they have double reanimate. Okay, Barrowwave is fine. I was just about to say we haven't drawn into push. Don't think I need to brainstorm now. I am getting pretty low. Okay. That's a weird card to have. Let's just ponder here. Okay. Subtlety is good. We have 4 or 5. I think I can stack it that way. Yep, that's okay. That turns off the reanimate. Just gonna pass. Okay. The fetched away the opposition agent there. I think I just fated spell pierce this. Have flare up. Okay. Now we can start attacking. We are animating that. I think I just have to flare this. Let's just do it here. Okay. I really have to be careful about my life total here. Okay, that's an Orcish Bowmasters. Okay, that's nice. They put it on top. We draw more cards. Okay. Now we have Cling to Dust just in case we need life gain. That's the match. Opponent will be going first. Hmm. Is this hand good? I think since we have Treasure Cruise in hand, we can take a mulligan. Okay, this hand is better. Let's put the extra frog back. I'm just gonna do this under upkeep. Feel like this is show and tell. Okay, since they have cast brainstorm here, we can safely strip mine that. I'm going to play
Perhaps there are more
Tameo,
meaningful texts down on the surface.
but of course this is weak to a turn 2 show and tell. If they have to, I'm going to put a stop on their main phase. Feel like this is the last breeding pool they should have. Okay, that's why I put a stop there, just to make them think I have a Flare of the Nile. Now I think I should just play Psychic Frog here. If they jam here, then they win. There's also the chance that they are brainstorm locked. Oh, right. I don't have to hold priority anymore because we have Psychic Frog. So what I can do here during attacks, you can strip them off the hedge maze there. I'm just gonna start being aggressive here. Let's flip Tamio.
I'd rather avoid a fight. But
Hold up, Spell Pierce.
violence is not the answer.
They're just going for it. Spell Pierce. They say nice.
Use the past to plan for the future.
Can probably just take them off. Significant colors. Okay. Against this deck. Don't want Salty. The removal spells are out. We want Thoughtseize. Flute. Commandeers. I think the fourth commandeer is better than the first link. They don't run. They don't run. What's it called? Mystic Sanctuary. Okay, this hand is good. I can operate on 2 mana here. That's fine. Okay, that's good. Hmm. I think I might just shuffle that. Okay, that's better. Just gonna deploy my frog here. Cast Demonic Tutor. I think I'm just going for. Think what do we go for here? I think I go for spell pierce. Now I now it's time to apply some pressure. I'm going to play this land next turn. I'm just gonna spell pierce that. Disruptor flute is really nice. So is that. Yep, I think for now we're just gonna hold up flare. Okay. That's pretty good for spell pierce. Play first. Even though this has a lot of lands, we have ponder. I'm gonna keep since it has turn one hydroponics. If this lives, we're just so ahead. Ooh, that's interesting. Let's ponder first. I think at this point I'm just looking for interaction. So nope. Trying to either look for brainstorm or flare. It's really neat how this can fetch this can turn fetches into hydro lands or into fetchables. Then you get to chain multiple fetches. That's a very zone guard. Scary. That's another strip mine. think stripping is off the table now.
I've read nearly the entire library.
Okay. Let's just fatal push the very zone guard now. I'm really worried because I feel like this is a natural order deck, or maybe even some weird primeval titan one. And our problem here is we drew a bunch of lands. We really need to find a brainstorm at least. Yeah, this feels like a natural order. Not really sure if we can beat that. We have Sink into Stupor. Okay, that's Rennie. Let's just take them off that. We are gonna aggressively look for.
I hope you don't mind if I take notes. Respect the library.
I guess this works.
This is an interesting story.
Can block with Damn You first. That's a stock up. Okay. Brainstorm. Let's brainstorm away the steam vents. I guess the other brainstorm. Or maybe just the strip mine. Let's see if this resolves. I think my path to success here is just ulting the Tameo. Can stall for enough time. Don't think the opponent's deck plays removal. I'm gonna put an upkeep stop there. Hmm. I think I just decline.
Think before you act. Oh no! I'm late for class!
Okay. If they have natural order, you have to sacrifice the psychic frog. Okay.
I know enough to recognize this battle's over. Every plane has stories to share. I am not defenseless.
Take out the strip mine. Let's play out Hydro here. Nice. Okay, against their deck, we want Thoughtseize. Feel like they're an Oko deck. Let's add Commandeers in. What else? They have Kami. I want Fire Magic here. Probably not. Link to the sucks here. I prefer Thought Seeds over Flare. Right, I think we're bringing in too much. In this case, I think Flare is just better than Pierce because they are a ramp deck. I guess I can trim down a Ponder or extra removal here. I'm just not gonna bring in Flute for now. I mean, we just max on removal, got two Ponders. I think this is capable. We have Ponder. We are on the draw. I'm just gonna go for Ponder here. Okay, that works. Feel like this turn I might just go Tameo. Tameo pass, hold up, fatal push.
Perhaps there are more useful texts down on the surface.
Okay, stock up. Your deck is really greedy. Why are they playing stock up? Maybe they're playing Ancient Tomb. I think I'm fine with trading some cards here. Okay, they don't trade. I guess I can pitch the Blood Chiefs Thirst. There's a stock up again. I'm just gonna cast Bowmasters here. I think we only discard that. Okay, we can brainstorm. You can put this back. Let's draw into the cruise.
This will be a boon to my research.
Endurance is actually pretty good.
Think before you act.
I am just gonna kill this. Yes, I think I have to. Double veil. Yeah, fuck that. So I just lose if they have like one drop into natural order. Okay, there's an Oko.
Revel with your king, wild and sovereign and free. Your new look is enchanting.
Question I guess is if do I kill the Oko? Yeah, I just killed the Oko. Alright, welcome back. So what do you think of the deck? I do think the addition of Spell Pierce is really nice. And I've tried several weird builds with this where I cut the flares for a force spike. That's mostly where the idea for Spell Pierce comes in. Because I felt force spike is pretty decent in this deck, or maybe even this format. The deck the decks in the format are really mana hungry that force spike just has a lot of hits, especially in the early turns. But I didn't really like how swinging the card is, so I just went with Spell Pierce. And of course, we have to max out on Strip Mines because we are running Spell Pierce that can be dead if your opponent manages to just hit their land drops. And as we've seen, the Sink into Stupor did pay off dealing with an Urani. And I don't really see any awkwardness with the cantrips for now. I think it's really great. But I would say that I might have to add a Mystic Sanctuary in here. I'm just not sure how I can add it. Maybe maybe it's just correct to cut a strip mine for a Mystic Sanctuary because you're definitely not cutting an untapped blue source here because we're barely making it so that we are 90% to keep. So that number comes from a scuffed code that I have. Not really sure if I want to call it written by me because really what I did there is just proofread and check if everything is fine. But essentially, I ran simulations. I just wanted to limit test how greedy I can get with the mana base. And the answer to that question is we just need to run 18 blue sources, untapped blue sources with Ponder and Brainstorm so that we are likely to keep a one lander with Ponder or Brainstorm or Strip Mine or at least a two lander. So yeah, I think this is the only minor change that I would suggest for now. It is really worth testing cutting some flares, but really just having the threat of having a free counter spell is really strong. Once you cut all of these in your deck, your opponents can just abuse that and keep jamming whenever you're tapped out. So yeah, thanks for watching.